Hello, you're watching QPVN News. I'm Anh Tuấn and here's the headlines. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính receives outgoing German ambassador. Peace and healthy living environment. Vietnam elected as Vice Chair of General Assembly of State Parties to 2003 Convention. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính suggested Germany enhance cooperation with Vietnam in labor, employment, education, training and energy transition, among other fields, at a reception for outgoing Ambassador Guido Hildner in Hanoi on the afternoon of June the 12th. Congratulating Ambassador Guido Hildner on his successful working term in Vietnam, which actively contributes to strengthening the Vietnam-Germany strategic partnership, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính affirmed that Vietnam always highly values Germany's role and leading position in Europe and the world at large, and attaches importance to deepening the bilateral strategic partnership across spheres. The Prime Minister expressed his pleasure for development of Vietnam-Germany relations in all fields after nearly 50 years of establishing diplomatic relations and over 10 years of its strategic partnership. Such positive results witnessed the contributions of Ambassador Guido Hildner during his working term in Vietnam. The Prime Minister asked the German government to support and closely cooperate with Vietnam in implementation of the JETP, Human Resource Training, Management Experience Sharing. He also suggested Germany grant more scholarships to Vietnamese students and strengthen collaboration in materializing the EU-Vietnam Free Trade Agreement and the EU-Vietnam Investment Protection Agreement once it comes into force. The Prime Minister took this occasion to appeal to Germany to urge the European Commission to remove its yellow card warning against Vietnamese seafood. For his part, Ambassador Hildner highly appreciated Vietnam's development over the past years, especially in green sustainable development, stressing Germany stands ready to receive Vietnam skilled laborers and wishes to admit more Vietnamese students. Regarding regional and international issues of shared concern, both sides agreed on basic principle and respect for international law to maintain and promote peace, stability, cooperation and development in the region and the world. National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn received a delegation from the Indonesian Regional Representative Council Upper House led by its Deputy Speaker Mahyudin in Hanoi on June the 12th. National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn stated that Vietnam always attaches importance to and wants to develop the Vietnam-Indonesia strategic partnership to a new height. He proposed that in the coming time, the two sides should coordinate in carrying out the agreements on economic cooperation, striving to bring bilateral trade turnover to $18 billion by 2028. Both sides should expedite the implementation of the Memorandum of Understanding on Fisheries Cooperation signed in January this year to strengthen cooperation in these fields, develop sustainable fisheries and aquaculture. He hoped that the two sides would further increase delegation exchanges and meetings at all levels and share experience between the two legislative bodies. For his part, the guest affirmed that interparliamentary cooperation is a solid foundation and the best way to strengthen bilateral relations and expand the strategic partnership between the two countries. He said that the two sides need to concretize goals to enhance competitiveness in the region. The 14th Home Military Television Festival will be held in Thái Nguyên Province in early August. On June the 12th, the steering and organizing committees held a conference reviewing the preparation for this event. Senior Lieutenant General Trịnh Văn Quyết, Chairman of the General Political Department of the Vietnam People's Army, presided over the event. The festival is organized twice every 5 years by the General Political Department of the Vietnam People's Army. After 13 iterations, the festival has truly become a festive event for military journalists where they have an opportunity to show their pioneering role and responsibility. This is also where they clearly demonstrate the proactive role, responsibility, critical thinking skills and professionalism in performing the mass dissemination work covering military defense missions, the modernization of the military and the building of whole people defense disposition, and in combating the peaceful evolution plot of hostile and reactionary forces. This event is also an opportunity for them to exchange experience. General Quid praised relevant agencies and units, especially the Army Broadcasting Center, for their active role in organizing the event. He noted that this is the first time Military Region 1 has hosted the event, taking place on the occasion of the 80th founding anniversary of the Vietnam People's Army and the 35th anniversary of Whole People Defense Festive Day. The event is expected to help spread the beautiful image of Uncle Ho soldiers in the new period. This is also a chance for journalists to update the environment trends of modern television and review the quality of equipment and facilities provided for journalism in the military. General Quid asked the jury to work fairly and responsibly to select worthy works and widely broadcast the awarded works on TV channels and on digital platforms. On the morning of June the 12th, on behalf of the leaders of the Ministry of National Defense, Senior Lieutenant General Hoàng Xuân Chiến, Deputy Minister of National Defense, Head of the Inter-Sectoral Working Group, Head of the Ministry of National Defense Steering Committee on Vietnam's participation in UN peacekeeping operations, handed over the State President's decision on peacekeeper deployment to a Vietnamese officer taking on peacekeeping duties at the UN headquarters. This is the fourth officer of the Vietnam People's Army to be recruited and work at the UN headquarters. Senior Lieutenant Colonel Trương Anh Tuấn from the Vietnam Department of Peacekeeping Operations has been recruited as a military affairs officer at the Office of Military Affairs, the UN's Department of Peace Operations in New York, USA. This is an important position supporting the United Nations Department of Peace Operations to assess the capabilities of foreign military forces before and during deployment to the mission. Colonel Tuấn used to serve as a liaison officer at the UN mission in South Sudan, as well as trainer of many military and political training courses, pre-deployment and exercises in Germany, Thailand, the Republic of Korea. He got a master's degree in national security strategy at the U.S. National Defense Academy and a PhD in education in the United States. Senior Lieutenant General Hoàng Xuân Chiến asked Tuấn to actively and proactively cooperate with colleagues, successfully complete all assignments. Peace is, of course, the prerequisite for a land affected by conflict to revive. However, peace is just the first condition. Life and happiness can't be achieved in a polluted and unhealthy environment. Understanding that fact, along with participating in UN peacekeeping mission, the Vietnam Military Engineer Company has carried out many practical activities to improve the living environments for local people. The area of ABA for many years has been mired in conflict. Struggling with hunger and violence to survive, people seem to have no time or mind left to think about the environment. Stuck in such an environment like this, life in ABA withered and withered. Garbage piles up. With the increasing influx of refugees, clean water becomes scarce. People are not aware of protecting the living environment, making the effects of desertification and drought even more severe.
The situation in ABA.
The environmental problem in ABA is currently in an alarming rise. Why do I say that? Because first, the people here do not have a garbage collection area. Second, they are not aware of the importance of environmental issues and how they will affect the lives of the community. These vehicles carry clean water and also bring joy to the people of ABA. Since the beginning of the dry season, the Vietnam Military Engineer Company has organized many trips to provide clean water to people every week. A water supply area for people was also set up at Unit's base gate. Nearly 400,000 liters of clean water have been provided, partly solving the clean water shortage here. Providing clean water is only part of the activities to protect the living environment for the people of ABA. The Vietnam Military Engineer Company organized the cleanup of 1 ton of solid waste and more than 2,000 animal corpses in the area. The local drainage system has also been completed by the team to be ready for the upcoming rainy season. In professional activities, we have always complied with the regulations and instructions of the mission's environmental agency and are all aware of our role and responsibilities in protecting the environment with the motto, "Be neat and clean wherever we are, completely treat construction waste and use environmentally friendly products." Not only protecting the environment, the Vietnam Military Engineer Company also wishes to improve people's awareness. Many meetings with the UNISFA mission and the local authorities have been held in a bid to understand the difficulties and needs of the people. Many activities to raise public awareness about the environment have also been organized. Right now, I want to thank all the people and the country of Vietnam. RBA is a place where 9 ethnic groups live together, and you have become the 10th. From strangers, you have now become the closest people to us. Thank you, Vietnam. Peace is merely the prerequisite. Thinking further ahead, the Vietnam Military Engineer Company is well playing its part so that the people of RBA can soon be living in peace and developing in a healthy living environment.
Coming up next, Vietnam elected as Vice Chair of General Assembly of State Parties to 2003 Convention. Ho Chi Minh City, over 1,000 people participate in Red Journey. At the 10th session of the General Assembly held in Paris on June the 11th, Vietnam has been elected as Vice Chair of the General Assembly of the State Parties to the 2003 Convention for the Safeguarding of the Intangible Cultural Heritage, bringing the total number of key UNESCO mechanisms in which Vietnam has joined to 6. The 10th session of the 2003 Convention General Assembly took place on June the 11th and the 12th, 2024, with the participation of 183 member states and more than 100 observers. Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs Ha Kim Ngọc, Chairman of the Vietnam National Commission for UNESCO, leading the Vietnamese delegation, attended this event.
Addressing the event, Chairman of the Vietnam National Commission for UNESCO Ha Kim Ngọc emphasized that this event demonstrates Vietnam's increasingly high international position and reputation and the support and trust of the international community in the country's role and abilities at global multilateral institutions, and especially the recognition of Vietnam's contributions to the preservation and promotion of the values of intangible heritage. He credited Vietnam's success to the party and state's sound foreign policy on diversification and multilateralization of external ties, comprehensive global integration, and cultural diplomacy initiatives. In the new position, Vietnam will play a key role in shaping UNESCO cultural agenda and driving progress on the 2003 Convention. He noted that with 15 elements inscribed on the UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage List and 550 recognized nationally, Vietnam continually fine-tunes national policies and laws. Most recently, the National Target Program on Cultural Development to 2045 and the amended Cultural Heritage Law.
On the morning of June the 12th in Ho Chi Minh City, more than 1,000 people came to donate blood and participate in a series of exciting Red Journey connecting Vietnamese blood activities.
Right from early morning, the program drew the participation of a large number of blood donators who are both civilians and peoples in the armed forces. There were units sending more than 100 people participating in the drive. A new feature of this year's Red Journey in Ho Chi Minh City lies in the streamlined registration. Only by filling in the registration via the QR code, all available information will appear, including one of the first-time blood donors and those who have participated several times. In addition to calling for people to join repeated blood donation, we've also applied digital transformation in the program. This marks a new thing on the occasion of celebrating 30 years of voluntary blood donation. This is the 12th year that Ho Chi Minh City has organized the Red Journey, and 30 years have passed since Ho Chi Minh City first launched widespread voluntary blood donation in the community. Ho Chi Minh City is always the leading locality in the Red Journey and other blood donation movements. The city has not only served the blood need of more than 150 hospitals in the city, but also other provinces.
This is the end of the QPVN News today. Remember to watch our news again at qpvn.vn. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.